All right, I'm going to do a very quick video review because, well, I have some new stuff that's fun. The Team Yankee game has just released the Soviet book for their forces. Soviets are the natural second half of a World War II game. You've got the NATO side, you've got the Warsaw Pact. You can't have one without the other to have the Cold War. So, brand new from Battlefront Games. This is the first time I've even opened it. I just bought it and brought it here for a quick rundown. So we're going to go ahead and take a look inside this book and see what there actually is to see. Usual, there's counter pushes in here. So they've advanced the timeline a little bit. They have a false timeline where they're talking about non-history as it may have happened. So there's that. Table of contents. The book is pretty stiff. Okay. I have to cradle it. And the first part is essentially fluff. I hope this is based on realistic stuff that actually was found in history, because one can, with the World War III setting, just cook stuff up if they really wanted to. Usual full... okay, here's the good stuff. Soviet Force Organization. So we have here up to 3 T-80 tank battalions, up to 3 T-64 tank battalions, same with all the other tank battalions they have, 1 T-80 shock tank company. Now there was an absolute liar I ran across that said in second edition they were going to make it so they didn't have any restriction on how many you could bring. But I see 3 here, I see 1 here, I see 1 here for the Afghansy. That makes a difference. So there is still a restriction on how many companies you can bring in this game. People who said otherwise are talking out their ass. So we also have, they added a wild card. I think that was in the last one when they made Red Thunder. They had that there. This is they have a whole selection of different support options, a lot of which duplicate, so you just pick the one you want to go with the most. In my strong opinion, you just go with it. Oh yeah, you can't take this if you have Afghansy, because this is the normal version, where Afghansy are hard Special Forces versions. So there's the forces, and talks about weapons upgrades. So there's a weapons upgrade for the RPG-7. So your RPG-7's in your force, or is it in the unit? No, it's your force. Yeah, it's not even the unit. It's force, entire force. So you must replace them all, or you must keep them all. Tandem warhead does not. A tandem warhead heat weapon is unaffected by ERA armor. The tank rolls its armor save based on its normal armor rating, not that of the ERA. I must note, this says ERA, it doesn't say BDD, and it does not say Chobam. So I'm willing to bet ERA. It doesn't have a... This doesn't work against Chobam armor or against the BDD armor that other guys have, just ERA. We've seen ERA armor's rule before. Elite Helicopter Force? Okay, they actually have a special rule for the thing that they just described in the force selection. T-80 Tank Battalion. I'm willing to bet you that all these look the same. You're going to have 3 choices, and it's going to be from 3 to 10 of each of these. And the usual support options you expect. Add on a motor rifle company, add on the recon. It's pretty much the same as you expect from any other tank force. 22 points for 3 when it comes to the T-80. 8 points for 1. Not a cheap tank. So there's that. T-60 Battalion. Oh, look, it is the same. What do you know? And they introduced just more units over here. And of course, these units cross-reference. They'll have them listed here, but other places in the force chart will have them. The Tunguska. The Tunguska, what does it do? It has the same armor value. Oh, you got a burning A-10. Heresy. Okay, so it's got higher anti-tank rating on the gun. I'm pretty sure, because I think the Shilka's, the Shilka's down here. Anti-tank rating is 6 here, 10 here for the Tunguska. So, and it's increased. It's from 6.4 in a Shilka to 7.5 in a Tunguska. Plus, the Tunguska has the added Grendel missiles with a 64-inch range. Holy God, those are some hard missiles. They have a firepower of 3+. That's going to kill something. And 2 dice to roll when halted. Those are not weak. No, that's going to roll 4 dice for a half-strength company and 8 dice for a full-strength company. Holy God. Or the platoon. Sorry, platoon. But that's not a weak option at all. Yeah, I like it. The BMP3 is new. It's essentially just an up-armored BMP. And it does move a little bit faster, I think. So we have Tactical 10, Terrain 18, Cross Country 28. Did it have a BMP 2 earlier, by chance? The BMP 1 is faster than the BMP 2, but... Nope, just T80 earlier. Just T80, so... here's the other recon platoon. So 10, 16, 28, 32 for the BMP-1, where the, I hate to say it, the BMP is 2 is slower because its cross-country dash is 2 less. So cross-country, it can't high speed at the same distance, because your cross-country dash is a very important move rating in this game. Very rarely you're going to find roads. If you find open country, it's going to be everywhere. So you run off of that. So the cross-country dash for this is 28, terrain dash of 18. It is faster than the other BMPs. It only have a terrain dash of 16, and it is same speed or faster, I think. Yeah, it is the same speed of a BMP-1 recon platoon. So if you just want speed on your side, you can pay less points and get the BMP-1s instead of the BMP-3s. Spandrels are actually kind of cool. They're making a plastic model for that. Keep an eye out for that. T-72s, okay, I hate to be fast about this, but we've seen these before. T-72s, T-62Ms, T-55AMs. It's funny, these are just like the Russian version of the things that they stick the Polish and the East Germans with. It's like, yeah, they use the crappy stuff. You know, BMP, Motor Rifle Battalion, organized. Each organization is the same. BMP-3, BMP-2, or BMP-1. You just pick which type of BMP you want to use, and the same chart is used for all of them. So, and you can bring T-80s with BMP-1s, obviously. So you can just mix and match. If you really like the latest BMP-3, but you kind of want to, go kind of silly on the tanks, you can bring T-62s and bring old tanks with decent guns. Yeah, you can't bring BMP-3s with, let's say, T-55s, apparently. Let me look at the T-55 tank battalion and see. Yeah, they're pretty much stuck at the bottom of the row. They can't bring like the hottest stuff. So I thought so. That makes sense. It's like just like the stuff that they have in East Germany and whatnot. So there's a BMP transport again. The transport is going to have the same statistics as the recon version. They just have different stats as far as their traits. Like one is a scout and a spearhead unit. The other one is not. BTR-60s. BTR-60s are fun. I'm glad to see those finally show up in the Russian lists. I think they're actually in the Russian list last time, but this time they're actually in the Russian list. There's the 104th Air Assault Division. This is a very fun one to run. I would prefer to run this in a 6mm Team Yankee game, just because otherwise I'm paying, Games Workshop style prices for each the hind. Kind of. It's like $18 to get a hind, which that makes it one of the most expensive plastic models that Battlefront makes. So T-80 Shot Company. I had to go here because I kind of want to look at this. So what's different about it? These are commander stats. So we can't actually judge the entire thing on commander stats. We can look at the force organization. So it's got each shock tank platoon. I'm willing to bet they're only 3 apiece. I'm willing to bet it. So you only get 3 each of those. BMP Shock Motor Rifle Company, BMP-3 Shock Recon Platoon. So in Recon they only take BMP-3s. It's just as fast, I don't care. Shilka or Tunguska, Gaskins, Carnations. Looking at the Shock Platoon. Here's where the actual meat of the grind is right here. So, it looks like they can take BMP-2s or BMP-3s. Yes. So they can't take BMP-1s, but they can take BMP-2s or BMP-3s. So, T-80. 19 points for 2, 29 points for 3. Why take 2? Just take 3. And courage and skill is pretty much confident veteran. Morale, remount. The assault values are 1 less. Hilarious. So their assault values are actually smaller. They have a counterattack 4+ and assault 4+. Well, didn't see that coming. Let's go over look at the Afghansi. The Afghansis have an assault rating yeah. Assault 4, counterattack 3+. I like their counterattack of being 3+. That's great. So these guys don't have a high counterattack or a high assault rating. They've got amazing armor. We've looked at the stats for the T-80 and the other box set review. They're the same thing. Just the statistics are different. Now the infantry have a counterattack value of 3+ over here. Keep that in mind. So you get to pay for BMP3s, or you can pay 3 less points to get the BMP2 transports. If you're just looking to transport infantry around and you don't need high speed, that may be what you want to go with, especially if you don't really care about the protective value of the vehicles, if they're just a taxi. The BMP, though, does have 5 front armor and a decent gun, so it's going to be able to fight relatively well. So there's that. Now we've seen the Acacia in early version, the 2S3. We've seen the 2S3 earlier. I forgot what it's called. Does it have the NATO name here? I don't see it, so call me crazy. Here's the real killer. We have the TOS thermobaric launcher. They have an upgrade to the Katyusha. You can bring your normal Grads, or you can bring your Uragons here. Here we have the TOS Burantino. It's 10 points for 3. I really think it's going to be worth it. I hope these are resin, and I hope these are plastic, so they are lighter weight. I like metal models, but since they make so many plastics, it's actually kind of a cool thing to have everything way less. Although honestly, you're losing weight with the infantry that are now plastic and the tanks that are now plastic. So this is nice because it's a relatively short range salvo. Anti-tank 2 means nothing. Firepower auto is actually pretty good. So whatever fails its save is going to take a hit of damage. Brutal, it forces infantry to roll their saves. This is nice. This is very nice, actually. It's got really low armor. It's not an attack weapon for going out and pounding the enemy. It's just a very sick anti-infantry barrage that comes in these. So if you want to play against heavy infantry forces, bring some Burantinos. I've always liked the look of the Gecko. The Gecko is just an awkwardly crazy-looking vehicle that shoots down an aircraft with a plone, and it's just a fun little thing to play with. I really wish they'd add like some other kind of Soviet aviation in here. I mean, the Frogfoot, it would be there, but I get sick of seeing it. So there's scenarios. So what do I have in the way of scenarios? Looks like it's you get to fight through West German defense in depth. There's an ambush. There's some painting guides. They only have 2 real scenarios. Is that really what it is? 2 scenarios? Let me go look at it again. There's the Sovietskis. Oh, I accidentally skipped this. Yeah, Soviet treads. Autobahn firefight. So accidentally, this is an ambush. There's the attack on Schembechsostel. And then shown back here. And then Autobahn firefight. This sounds cool, actually. Fighting on the Autobahn. Roads everywhere. You get to use that highest dash speed. That highest dash speed is great to play with. So here we have painting guides, more painting guides, advertisement for the box we already bought, advertisement for the other box we're not going to buy. It shows all the things that are available. The T-80 is a really nice pickup. I'm probably going to grab one of those so I can make a shop company or something like that. And then we have here more of the same. Of course, they've added the Tunguska, which comes in a 2-pack. All plastic BTRs is nice. I'm so glad they went in that direction. Here's the thing that gets me. All plastic BDRM too. So you can make cheap plastic little BDRM recon vehicles, or you could be smart and upgrade them to spandrels and have a really cheap anti-tank covering your flanks. So if they decide to swarm you with Leopard 1s or something, you're good. And the Gaskins are also a good choice if you want to bring cheap anti-aircraft and have no other points to spend on anti-aircraft. Bringing that. I like to bring Shilkas. Shilkas are my favorite anti-aircraft just for the heck of it. They're anti-infantry and anti-aircraft in my book. But still. I like the Gecko. I really wish I could bring the Gecko. But I have no place for the Gecko, and it's a resin-metal model, which I have no problem with. Heck, I might just buy one to like paint it up or something. Have like a model on my shelf of the Gecko. Yeah. And of course, this is the actual back leaflet fold of the back cover. So after that, it's just back cover. It's 85, and the Cold War just got hot again. So this is the newest book from Battlefront Games for World War III. We all know it as Team Yankee. But yeah, it's the Soviet book, which is, this is, in my opinion, this is the best Soviet book ever. It's not like, it's got everything in it. It's got nothing really super detailed, so they still have the option to release other releases in the future that have more detailed units. What scares me is they're planning on releasing one Warsaw Pact book, so the East Germans, the Czechoslovakians, and the Polish might have their options shrink. And I wouldn't like that. But it's still, most people are going to play with this. This is your bad guy book. Go out and buy one. If you're playing with World War III, you'll need this for the other player. They can buy it if you want to have that to be, you know, they can play the opponents if you want them to. You can play it if you're a Warsaw Pact player. You can buy it if you're a NATO player just to know what the Soviets can do, because the Soviets' tricks are all in this book. There's no difference between this gear and anybody else's gear, because the Soviets, hate to say it, communists are like that. It's like they want you to use their stuff because it comes from their factories and they're going to push their stuff. So anyway, this is a nice little one. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you have fun playing some World War III.